Hi, my name is Victoria Gao, and we're back for another artist interview, this time with Liliya Krys.
Hi, how are you? Victoria. I'm Liliya.
And you teach in the art department here at Rhode Island College?
Yes, I was a student, and now I teach here with my former professors. In itself, it's an honor.
Yeah, wonderful. And we're here looking at a series of works, a series of gouache on paper paintings by you that you've titled Beach Scene. So can you tell me a little bit about the inspiration for these paintings, how they came about, and how you actually made them?
Sure. So I started a while ago with the nature scenes, and I used to be inspired, not used to be, still inspired by beautiful nature of the islands I used to live in Russia. And our nature is very, very stark and harsh, still very beautiful. And I would draw woods, any kind of places that would inspire me, my feeling of that, the nostalgia perhaps. And then I decided, we have this beautiful ocean that actually sometimes warm, and I can go to the beach and sit there and paint, include people, not just woods. They kind of have that sense of movement in them, just like trees too, they move around. And because people on the beach there, they can't be models. Right, they're not models, so I can't ask them to do something and sit for me. So it feels immediate and unstaged. So I can really respond to a moment that I'm in, the sense of movement of the people, of the water, of the air, something that just together at the same time, and not limited by anything, basically. Not me, perhaps. So I'm not in control of that movement, and I can only do is pick on that and feel the spirit of it.
And you talk about that sense of immediacy, and for me, because I'm kind of an art historian, I automatically think of the Impressionist painters and the en plein air painting that they would do, which means that they would paint outside and try and capture that sense of immediate light and immediate action in the scenery around them and in the people around them. Are you inspired at all by Impressionist painting or other historic styles of painting, or are you trying to sort of separate yourself from those historic moments?
That would be really tough to separate myself from it, because I took quite a few art history classes and read quite a few books on that, so I don't see how it would be possible. So absolutely, Monet, all the people, contemporary artists like Milton Avery, not contemporary, but recent, and David Park, Elmer's Bishop, something like that, with the Impressionism, Expressionism, kind of like I don't feel like I belong to any particular period or style, perhaps, but it definitely is inspired by the impression. And also I want a viewer to feel what I felt, at least to some extent. So that would be an expression.
I can't help but notice this was painted really in the last 2 years, and we've all been so homebound for the last year and a half at least, that these are really refreshing to look at. And I've certainly found a lot of solace in going outdoors, especially here in beautiful Rhode Island summers. Is that part of what you're trying to convey to the viewers here, this sense of a little bit of liberation, a little bit of people being able to gather somewhere safe again?
Well, first of all, it's very happy that we're all very happy that we can do something together to some extent now. And some of them were painted before the pandemic, and some were after. During the pandemic, it was tough because beaches were closed. Literally, you couldn't go there. You would have to find some kind of places that were just not bordered by anything, which was tough. But yes, it's a part of it is just to see people together again. Absolutely, the sense of it.
Can we move over to the other side of the gallery and talk about your other painting here? So this one is part of a lake series as opposed to a beach series. I've had a lot of visitors to the gallery express interest in what material you're using to create these really interesting specks across the surface of the work.
Well, to be honest, it could be absolutely anything that is, since it is outside, and nature elements are there at all times, including sand, including ground, including anything. And sometimes they would be just accidental, and they can go within the wet paint, and that's what happens. You know, there's several techniques when you put sugar or salt together with the paint, and they create speckles. In this case, it could be anything. I don't even know. Flies? Well, I hope not, because I don't want to kill anything. But I believe it was a sand.
Oh, wow! So the nature has sort of physically found its way
Absolutely.
into the medium that you're working with.
Without me wanting or not wanting, it's there.
And the front figure is very striking. Is that somebody that you knew, or a complete stranger, or?
Pretty much majority of my models, quotation marks, are strangers. Sometimes it's my son, and I make him sit for me with those birds, for example. But yes, it's nobody I knew, unsuspecting people. Sometimes I have to ask people to paint them if they are aware that I'm painting them. But usually just, besides they don't sit or still for me, or stay for me, so it's an impression of a memory of what just happened, because they already moved. You know, I can't paint that fast.
Yeah.
So even though unaware, they're still more in control than I am, I guess.
How long does each painting take? I mean, I know that you're painting on site, you're painting outside. How does that process work for you?
Very different from Richard's. I have to pack, decide where I'm going, go. So I don't know if that's included, but in reality, the painting takes from about 2 hours to 5 hours. In the middle ground of 3 hours or so.
So it's still very, very carefully thought out and reworked again and again then.
Well, yes, because so with my primary idea, when I sit there at the beach and look, the nature and the movement of everything is so overwhelming. I can't really truly plan anything. There is no planning to it. I see the paint and I respond to it. Due to the fact that I do have a lot of training and practice, my immediate response is subconsciously thoughtful, I suppose. It's not just, just put paint on. Even though at the moment, sometimes I look back at them and think what was I thinking? Was I even thinking at all? Because it doesn't reflect on the, let's say, that knowledge and careful thought. But sometimes it just happens when my subconscious just works. That's what I'm hoping for. Because again, because of a lack of control, the only thing that I can rely on is my previous experiences to work with it.
And I think you can really see that that sort of free flow energy, I guess, if you can call it that, in your paintings, because it feels very unstudied and very. I mean, I keep going back to impressionistic, and I don't want to, but it does.
It definitely
does
is
feel very
hard because it's the
impressionistic.
sense of it.
Yeah. So you're not sketching beforehand; you're just diving right in with the paint.
Yes, it starts just like that. The paper is prepared, of course. You know, the paint is there. So I'm preparing as paint, and I'm looking at it and thinking, what kind of composition do I want today at the moment? Whatever the feeling dictates. But then it just what happens. Wonderful.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
And you can still see the online version of this exhibition if you go to our website, www.ric.edu/Bannister. You'll find some links that will link you directly to the online exhibition. Thanks so much.
Thank you.